Boop boop. Oh, there we go. Okay, bye bye Discord. Discord got raptured. Hi, Cole. Can I get your ATM pronouns, please? Fuck. I'm doing my part. God, that was so fucking funny yesterday.
I don't remember much. Sorry, Nick and Michael are co-fronting right now, so there are memory gaps for sure.
So yesterday there was there's a dude who came up here and he's like, "Yeah, I have intercourse with trans people. I'm doing my part." And then
Oh Lord.
Then Allie posted a thing that said like the meme of like, "I'm doing my part."
Iconic.
Yeah. It was very silly. Yeah, no Ian stream today, so yeah, you don't have to be 18 to be in chat. It's just 18. It's TikTok terms of service that you have to be 18 to come up on and join the live. So I should probably mute my phone before I do a silly thing like open up the stream and cause an echo.
Not me causing an echo without trying.
Yeah. But yeah, it's I wonder why Ian hasn't said that he's not going live.
I don't know, but they clearly, like, obviously have life. So I'm not worried about it in the sense that, like, I know they're just living.
He's probably just at work, likely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry, they.
Sorry to correct you, but I tried to, like, how can I insert this is something I do with friends first that I know are already working on it. I'll try to insert they, them pronouns into the conversation without drawing direct attention to the mistake. And if that doesn't work, then I'll be like, hey, they, them, you know. So, yeah.
Solid doesn't believe I'm live.
Apparently not.
It most definitely is live.
Tell her to refresh it, I guess. Or I can.
I think they're pulling my leg.
Griff says, yeah, you're live.
Yeah, maybe
I wonder if they could tell that or not.
I had to double check that I was live on Twitch and YouTube's as well.
Yeah, there are real people that believe that. That's why we have these conversations, is to ultimately educate, even if we're not educating the person that we're having a conversation with, but rather other people who are listening. So, yeah.
Yeah, the scary thing is that there's doctors who have investigated this. That's the scary part, is it like...
Sorry, I have to ask Kitten, even if you don't come up, what gender and or sex do you think that I am based off of my voice? Go for it. Also, if nothing will make you agree with it, Vig, I don't even fucking know how to pronounce that. Good evening, Kay. Good to see you again. Then, that just shows your bigotry, honestly.
We have a request from the Dawn.
Also, Kitten in comments before we start, I would love to see your comment as to which gender and or sex you think I am. Okay, continuing on.
Hi Dawn, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yo, hello. 25.
And pronouns?
I don't play the homosexual game.
It's not a homosexual game. It's an English game.
Homosexuals ask for pronouns. I don't play the homosexual game.
If we use she, her pronouns for you, would that be something you disagree with?
I know you guys are autistic.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no?
I know that you guys are autistic.
If we used she, her pronouns for you, would that be incorrect? Yes or no?
I don't play the homosexual game.
It would. Okay, honestly, he's not passing this first
I don't
hurdle.
Play this,
yeah.
Oh, I didn't see Kitten. You said man. Okay, good to have your feedback. Thank you for sharing.
If you can't pass a basic respect test, yeah, no.
We won't do it.
Are you unemployed by any chance? That's wild.
I'm the only trans person up here, and I'm employed. Also, not to pressure, but Griff, I know you watch consistently. If you ever want to come up, I don't think I've been here if you've come up on the panel before, but if you ever want to, like, feel free to. Again, not to pressure. Some people just don't want to come up on panels, and that is perfectly okay for whatever reasons. So, yeah, I just wanted to throw it out there in case you were ever wondering if you were welcome or not. Kitten, who are you referring to when you say I respect her because I love her? Who is her? So fair, Griff. I see you. Hopefully you have a good day at work. I don't know what you do, but hopefully it's...
No, this is Cheryl. I've smoked 2 packs a day for 20 years. Darling, would you like to go out and get some pie?
I can't make the voice, but do you want some chocolate?
Chocolate? I love chocolate.
Okay, I'm gonna read this before I mute this person. Haunted, if you'd like to join the panel to discuss, please do. You say, join GC on Snap. We hunt trans people, trans flag as you put, in UK live videos to thousands. Hunting is wild work. That's wild work. And also, you know what I'm referencing. Obviously, most people do, but anyway. Yeah, that was wild, Griff. That was absolutely out of this world.
I don't need that up. I'll probably bring up those. That works.
Wait. I'm backing up to try to find out who goes by them because she's very confused.
My daughter-in-law who was born... Hold on, I got it. My daughter-in-law who was
a
born
woman
as a woman
changed to man. Came back a woman, married My son, your daughter-in-law married your son? Wait, we have other problems to address here. Other problems to address. Dear Lord.
What?
That's the most wild shit I've ever heard. Your daughter-in-law married your son?
Yeah, that.
Wow.
Oh, you're just pulling the okay, yeah. I got it.
Shit is wild.
Yeah, I don't actually know what the pronouns are, so I can't tell if they're misgendering or not. They probably are. Let's be realistic.
Can you repeat what you just said? Sorry, I had an alarm go off.
Yeah, I said I can't tell if Kitten's misgendering them. I think that they said that they use they them, or she said that they use they
them at one point. Yeah, at least they did at one point. So even if that shifted to he him, I generally lean towards they them if I don't know, because that can still be respectful to people in the binary. If you are clear that you don't know for sure what their gender is. So yeah.
She goes by they them. They go by
they go by they them. There you go. They go by they them. Thank you. So they're non-binary. They go by they them. Cool.
I'm respectful to her face, but behind her back, I'll stab her. That's fine.
Right? But saying she goes by they them is just like, we don't use, you're referring to the same person. We don't use different pronouns for the same person, especially not in the same fucking sentence. That's not English. That's not how this works. Sorry to tell you, hon.
Oh no, okay. It's fine. It said no sound detected, but I'm like, no, that's bullshit. I'm just nobody's speaking.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if your child is gender fluid. They're still valid as who they are. You don't have to stick as one gender and then just be that for the rest of your life, especially if you're gender fluid. Gender is not fixed in the way that you believe it is, and you should just listen to what your child is asking of you.
Yeah, I hope.
Alf, request up. Sorry.
Your mic echo is really bad today, by the way.
I turned my volume down. That should help.
Okay, thanks. I mean, yeah, so Alf, there is one thing in common. They're both overly victimized and marginalized, at least historically speaking. Both have been historically been seen as being deviant in some way, when they were not, and, yeah.
Who are you saying you ain't victims, bud, to? Because cis people definitely aren't victims. I would agree with you on that. Also, Kitten, being in these comments, saying, don't expect me to go back and forth, is essentially saying, I'm here, I have time, I have energy, and I'm going to go back and forth in the comments, and I'm going to have conversation in the comments, but I'm not brave enough to come up and have it verbally. That's literally what I'm hearing when you say that. So, come up or don't, your call.
Hey, Jesse, can I get your age and pronouns, please?
Yeah, he, him, and I just turned 20.
Alright, do you disagree with prompt?
Yes, but not entirely. I'm sure that's confusing if you'd like me to explain.
Yeah, if you could, that'd be great.
So, I do how I don't think that trans people should be. I think there needs to be a separation. The main thing is sports. However, I do also think that these people who have these ideas that, hey, I'm not really a man, I do think that they deserve to have a sort of respect instead of hate. But I do think there needs to be a separation in what we consider them to be biological in, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, my main thing is sports because I'm an athlete.
So,
right?
Well,
sorry.
for you,
to
let's just be really
interrupt you.
clear. I don't think it would affect you at all if I assume that you're a male and identify as a man. Since you
Yeah,
said you
so
have
I've
pronouns.
actually competed against trans men, and like there was an obvious disadvantage that I had because of the testosterone that I have that I'm naturally born with. And if they still want to compete against
Just
us,
for misinformation, I need to say that sports scientists have looked into this for years and years at this point, and they are typically the ones that determine who can compete in women's sports, who can compete in men's sports, and why. And no one has had an issue with that up to this point. Now that we're politicized, people start to have an issue with it. The sports scientists discovered that once you're on HRT for 2 or more years, the advantage or disadvantage, depending on which direction you're going, is pretty negligible. Therefore, they allow people who are on HRT for 2 years or more and have had the hormone levels of their cis counterparts, meaning that they do not have more testosterone than you do, that they have a similar level of testosterone to you, that they can compete in men's sports. So I don't know where your issue is coming from, especially considering what sports scientists have come out with in these years, and knowing that their hormone levels are within like male averages, just like yours are.
sorry, no. Let me like. I'm not saying I'm against it. What I was saying was I disagree with it being encouraged. If somebody wants to compete in the gender that they transition to, I think they should be accepted. But I'm against encouraging it because I'm a
Nurtured.
powerlifter, right? And I do think like men biologically, they do get bigger, they do get stronger, they do have higher endurance levels. I'm not saying that the trans people can't compete. Like they should be able to if they want to, but I don't think it should be encouraged. And the big thing is
I don't think we
is-
disagree on that point before you go on to the next one. Sorry, that's all.
okay, most people I've had this topic with, they say that it should be encouraged. That's why
What should be encouraged is whatever the individual wants to do.
okay. So like I literally just left a live that was talking about this exact thing, and I had said what I told you, and their response to me was that they should be encouraged to compete against them in a sort of way to show that they can. They didn't exactly say that, but it was obvious that's what they meant.
Well, we are not them.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that because I think that's a weird thing to say. They should do it just to show they can.
I don't think that
It's kind
somebody
of-
should be like discouraged, but like I don't think that they should.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, but
like if it's something that they're saying, hey, I'm scared that I'm going to be picked on because I'm trans. Like that's something that you could say, hey, this is something we could work on. Like it's not because they don't actually want to play the sport. It's because of like the social stigmatization or stigma that it faces. Like I think that's something that you should support. At least have a conversation with them about and saying, hey, this is something that like we support you with. If you want to go do this, we'll fully support you, and we'll get you the help that you need if you feel uncomfortable in this.
Exactly. Like I
also
said.
think there needs to be a level of they need to be made aware of a possible disadvantage they could have.
Oh, and they are most of the time, or large majority of the time. And it is standard practice that they would be made aware of these things before entering into the sports.
And that's like the main topic that I'm very knowledgeable in sports. That's why it's the only I'm not in the military, but I know there are some people that say they shouldn't be allowed in the military because it would be difficult to transport these. Like if it's a female going to male, it would be difficult to get them the extra testosterone if they're deployed overseas. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that would apply for anybody on any medication.
Yeah, like I couldn't go into the military because of like I'm cisgender. I couldn't go in the military just due to the medications I take. I do think that like it's fine to say that hey, if you need to have hormones constantly, you shouldn't be in the military, at least in some sort of role that deploys you overseas. Though I do think it's a little weird that like there's no differentiation between like what we have as individuals who are like when you join the military, there's like it doesn't seem that there's a chance that like you could enter in a role that you know that you're only going to be based in like the US for like if you're doing like US based logistics. Like I see no reason why somebody couldn't work a logistics job in the military or a mechanic job in the military if they're going to be stationed here in the US and they have access to the drugs that they need. Like I don't see any problem with that.
Oh yeah, no, I just another like I was saying, I know you guys are not that, but I have had like I would say about 80% of these conversations I have, the people that are like saying that are saying that we should make the maximum effort to allow these people to do these things. And that's what I disagree with. I think we should have the same amount of effort to everyone.
Allowing, I'm sorry for using the word allowing. I do think that we should make the maximum effort to allow people whose hormone levels have been, for example, within male normals, normal levels for a period of 2 years. I do think that we should make the maximum effort to allow them to participate in male sports if they want to, but not if they don't. That's what I was saying earlier about like whatever that individual would want is what I would support. Some people don't, some people do. The people that do should be able to. That's kind of where I'm at. And they go in knowing the certain quote unquote disadvantages they may have, and the things that have also been balanced in by their hormone levels being within male ranges, like their lung capacity, for example, has increased to that of a male. Their ability to gain and maintain muscle mass has has built to that of a male. English, sorry. NP is hard, or APD, sorry. Again. Anyways, I'm doing my best. Hopefully I'm still understandable. But yeah, these people we should be working our best to make sure they are allowed to, but not to make sure that they have to, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm also like when I'm saying that is what I'm saying is we shouldn't make extra effort as it would to someone who is just cis. So what I mean by that is if we get into a situation where we have to give more attention to this person than the cis person, I think that crosses the line of okay, they're no longer equals, they're now getting more attention, if that makes sense. Like
Well,
if we should give them the same level of respect and attention as cis people. We shouldn't give them extra, and we shouldn't give cis people extra. If that makes sense.
We agree on that.
One of the
Yeah,
only
like
things
most
I would
people
say
I
is
have
that,
talked
like,
about, they have disagreed with that.
the only thing I would
They-
say about that is that like if it's like for if you need to spend times for like a sports organization to adapt to rules and stuff like that's gonna be like surely you have to get like these things done. You can't just say oh well we'll have to like figure out some stuff so we can't have you compete at all. Especially if they're
Oh,
like
kinda
doing
sure.
it like for fun. Like I don't see any point of like trying to restrict them in that case. But like yeah, and I don't think that trans individuals need any extra.
And Kay makes a great point that trans women's hemoglobin recovery rate is very similar to cis women's. And this is one of the many ways that HRT can make our body chemistry in one way, shape, or another, our anatomy and physiology function as the gender that we are aligned with rather than the gender that we are assigned if we are on HRT. So yeah.
Now, another topic I'm curious to see if you guys are in the same boat as me is I disagree with allowing people under the age of 18 to go through these things for the same reason why we don't let them get tattoos. It is a life
Well,
changing
that's
thing.
ridiculous.
But we do let
Well,
them
it-
get breast
so-
implants. We do let them get breast reductions.
Well, I disagree with that too. These kids need to focus on growing up and becoming adults they can't if we don't allow them to get tattoos because that is a permanent. It's a long lifetime change. I don't think we should let them get you know. I'm not saying the
Life-saving
HRT,
care.
but at least the surgeries, if that makes sense.
But getting a tattoo isn't quite analogous though, because it doesn't actually like significantly. I don't know of anything that would cause somebody to have like severe dysphoria and like make it be difficult to get out and like even see themselves in front of a mirror that requires them to have like a tattoo versus with gender dysphoria it can be quite debilitating in the sense that it prevents individuals from like ever wanting to like even leave their room because of how them being so uncomfortable with how they view themselves, and this is even after having like years of therapy to try to help with this.
I mean, that topic is always going to, no matter which side you're on, that's always going to be difficult to talk about. I mean, for me, any topic that involves children is difficult to talk about. Because I personally, that wouldn't have an issue with it if we allowed the other things that are lifetime. Sorry, I just got off 12-hour shifts. I can't speak either.
And it's kind of like we already do give people the choice, sort of. Like, kids all the time go through their standard puberty, which theoretically is a choice due to us having puberty blockers. It has lifetime consequences, yet I don't think that you would hold that it's children making lifetime decisions choosing to go through puberty.
And I would like to add my 2 cents real quick as a trans person who went through the assigned puberty that aligned with my assigned sex at birth. It has permanently damaged my body in ways that require surgery in order to correct now. Whereas if I was given puberty blockers, which only are helpful around Tanner stage 2 of puberty, by the way, which is around the ages of 11 or 12 approximately. In most cases, in typical cases, there are atypical cases of precocious puberty, of course, that we can get into, but we don't have to. And in these cases, it's saying that it's beneficial to wait until they're 18 is definitely not true, and it's harmful actually, because now again I have to get surgery that I wouldn't have to get if I had just had access to puberty blockers and the HRT when I was technically an adolescent, with the help of the decision being between my parents, myself, and a team of doctors.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not saying so. Like the main thing I'm saying here, right, is like obviously like if say like a 12-year-old, right, they think they believe they're a female, they should definitely be allowed to like grow their hair out, wear dresses, put on makeup. The main issue that I was having was with the surgeries because those are life altering things that we don't allow other things for that are also life altering until they're 18.
To clarify, you're okay with HRT as minors, but not surgeries?
No, I'm not saying like whether I'm okay with against it, but we can't. What I'm saying is we can't be biased to what we allow to change their lives and what we don't.
Yeah,
Like,
so
we'll be biased towards medical care. Sorry, real quick. We'll be biased towards medical care. That is, it has plenty of evidence to prove that it's beneficial to these children. Sorry, go ahead, Stowe.
Yeah, so like we are already like I would hold that you are being biased in terms of what you allow because like females being like essentially forced to go through a female puberty causes life like irreversible changes to them, such as growing breast tissue. This requires surgery to fix, and it doesn't result in. I almost guarantee you, it's less somebody who wants to be a male or wants to be a man. They would much rather just have no chest growth in the first place because of the scars that it can last and other things like that. Or scars that it can leave and other things like that. So it is actually just more consistent to say, hey, we should give people a choice on this and not take away their ability to make a choice regarding this.
Oh yeah.
To
So
add
what
real quick, some people can never afford or have coverage for the care that they need, especially in the United States right now with all of the anti-trans legislation that has been passed over the last approximately 3-ish years majorly, including this one. It's already been insane how much anti-trans legislation has been put into place this year alone, only in January still. Like, it's really difficult for us to just access the basic healthcare that we need, whether that be from therapy all the way to surgeries, as mostly adults, rarely but occasionally as under 18, technically adolescents,
Yeah.
for the reason of, if you're 17 and you don't turn 18 until you go to college, this is just one example, by the way, and it would be best for you to get surgery right after you're out of high school, recover over the summer, and then be able to go to college presenting as who you are and fully recovered from that surgery, versus going to college, turning 18, getting that surgery halfway through your first semester or whenever it is, and then having to go through that recovery while you're going through classes at the same time. And so, like, there are rare cases in which it will be approved for a minor to get gender affirming surgery, but it is so rare. I mean, so exponentially rare compared to the adults that are getting it. And we don't advocate for children to get it unless they absolutely need it, to be abundantly clear as well.
I'm not saying they shouldn't. What my main point is that if we're allowing them to make these decisions, right? I'm very biased in this, and when I say that is I've only been 18 for 2 years, and I'm very inked up. If I was able to do that when I was 14 or 15, I absolutely would, but I wasn't allowed to. So I'm biased on that. Like if I would have been inked up 8 years ago, if that makes sense, but legally I wasn't allowed to, right? Another thing that I have noticed is, I know you guys are against it. You've just said it, that we should encourage these minors to do it. I have seen a lot of people doing
I never
that.
said we should encourage these minors to
No,
do
no,
it,
that's
and
what I just
neither
said.
did the host.
That's why I just think that you were against that.
Okay, good. Sorry,
but
I
I've seen a
misheard.
lot
Sorry
of
about that.
videos of parents putting clothes on their babies that say, like, not clothes, but they've said that at gender reveal parties was like, I remember one, I just saw a video today. It was like the baby's a boy, and then someone at the party said, "Oh, we'll see if that sticks." Like, I find that very weird. We shouldn't support that. We shouldn't even mention it to the kid. We should let them come to that decision on their own.
Let me question that, Jersey, because I do agree that they should come to that conclusion on their own, and that typically in studies, depending on the study you look at, 97 to 99% of the population will end up being cisgender, aligning with the sex that they were assigned at birth. So it's not common that somebody is going to be transgender. Now, my family kind of breaks the loop a little bit because, or at least my immediate family, my parents had 2 kids. Both of us are trans. Funny enough, not statistically like common necessarily, but yeah, that's the case for us. And I definitely think that kids should be determining this on their own, but educating about all the options, I think, is what you might be referring to. I think we should be educating kids at a level that is appropriate to, like, their learning rate and their age, of what different genders are, what different sexes are, and how people interact in the world. All the way from this person in kindergarten, you would teach this person has a dad and a dad, or this person has a mom and a mom, or person has a mom and another parent who isn't even like married to their parent, but they co-parent, and that's their situation, like all those different family dynamics will be taught very early versus like sex ed in high school, which talks about how all of these things ultimately relate after you've had that background of what different genders can exist, so I definitely advocate for that education, but we're not pushing anybody to be anything. We're just saying, if you are this thing, it's okay, it's normal, it happens,
Now, I do want to, if this is too personal of a question, please let me know. It was Cole saying all that, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so based on what you said, I'm assuming your parents educated you on this topic.
They did not growing up. They actually restricted the education on this topic, which extremely stunted my ability to understand who I was and to be able to safely come out as who I am. I was a pastor's kid, if this helps, for the first 11 years of my life, for some
That makes
context.
sense.
Yeah.
So did you come to educate yourself on this topic, or was there people that you either told you or you listened to that helped you understand it?
Kind of both. It was definitely a combination. So I knew when I was 5 that I was not a boy and that I was not a girl. From that point forward, I knew that. When I was maybe 13 or so, I met the first trans people and queer people in my life that were friends of my sisters, my older sisters, who was in high school at the time. So then I learned what being trans was. And then it wasn't until college that I was actually able to understand that non-binary people exist. That's a whole thing. Like people who aren't men and who aren't women, or at least explicitly who aren't a man or a woman, you know?
Now, when you
So, sorry, go ahead.
sorry, so you didn't know what you were feeling, but you did feel something around 5. Is that
Oh
what
yeah,
you're saying?
at 5, I knew I wasn't a man and I wasn't a woman. I just
You
didn't
weren't
have other
exactly
words
sure
for it.
what you were feeling?
I just didn't have other words for it, but that accurately describes I wasn't a man, I wasn't a woman, and I knew both of those things to be true.
So, I'm crazy hypothetical, but I'm curious. So, say, like you obviously did have those feelings around 13. If no one ever told you this is what a trans person is, and you didn't see it in the media, would you eventually have came to that conclusion on your own?
That's exactly what happened. I didn't know what a trans person was at 13. It was maybe 14 that I started to suspect what a trans person could possibly be. And at 15 that I saw the first trans person come out and medically transition in my lifetime. So that was exactly the case for me. I learned what being trans non-binary was as soon as I learned that at about 18 by my trans non-binary new college friend. I was like, that's exactly what I've known I was my whole life. Wow, crazy. So then I was able to look into it myself and research it myself further and confirm, hey, this is who I am. And then because my parents learned and grew, even though they came from very bigoted starts, you know, I was able to come out to them at 19 as non-binary, and they accepted me. They had already been using my preferred name since I was 17. And then at 19, I came out to them as trans, and they listened to all of my explanation and information, all the research that I had, asked the questions that they had, and then started practicing using they them pronouns for me. And to this day, they use they them pronouns for me very consistently, which I love. And she her pronouns for my sister, who is who she is, you know?
Now, we do agree on that part about. So obviously, you needed a little bit of help knowing what exactly you were feeling, but you didn't know you feel something. You came to that conclusion on your own. Now that we do agree on the part that should be the case. Now I know you guys disagree with it, but I have personally seen certain parents like say, "Hey, like this is what a trans person is. Do you want to explore this and see if that's what you are?" And I disagree with that. Now you too. Like it should not be something that parents are like, "Hey, you should explore this just to make sure you aren't."
Do you disagree with gender exploration, then it sounds like?
I'm disagreeing with parents having their kids explore their gender. That should be something they come to on their own. And then when they do that, the parents should then be like, okay, this is what you're feeling. Those feelings are valid. This is what you're feeling, and then explain it. The parents shouldn't be the first ones to kind of explore that decision.
Considering I was the one who explained it to my parents, not the other way around, which it ultimately should have been, because somewhere along the line of that K through 12 sex ed / gender education that I think is LGBTQ plus education, if you will, that I think is appropriate for different ages at different times, and that I think should happen at some point. You should understand that, and you should be taught growing up what a transgender person is, why that happens, like that it is a thing that can happen and that you can explore what your gender is. And gender exploration, and you'd be fighting with psychologists if you disagree with this, specifically gender psychologists, which oof for you. Gender exploration is very natural and normal. It's whether A, we allow this to happen or not, or B, if we educate that this is a thing that can happen or not. Some kids, including myself, just simply didn't know that I could diverge from the gender norms of the sex I was assigned at birth and explore who I was when I was younger. So I think that education would have been extremely helpful to me. And guess what? For cisgender children who receive this education, they still end up cisgender. Maybe they even take a moment to explore their gender and they still find out they're cisgender.
Sorry, I suck at getting my point across. I'm just trying to get it without getting your live taken down. So we agree on that. If I start saying a word that's not allowed, let me know. What I'm trying to say is that yes, this education should happen, but it shouldn't come across as something that should happen, if that makes sense. Like if a parent
It
says,
sounds
"Hey,
like we
this is
agree. I'm sorry. I'll let you go after this very quick sentence. It sounds like we agree, but we're struggling to understand each other and like use the correct words that communicate that. I'm just not sure. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try explaining it this way. I'm a parent, right? And I have a 8-year-old son. Let's just say he's 8. I should say, hey, this is what a trans person is, right? This is a decision that they came to on their own. I should not be telling my kid, this is a trans person.
I'm
You
interrupting
think that
for
you might be trans."
misinformation. Sorry, real quick correction. Being trans is not something that people choose. It's something that people are. Okay, continue.
When I say choose, I just mean decision. Like they decided this is what they're feeling. But like
They discovered would be all more proper terms to represent that they have always been that thing.
I would reject
Yeah,
even
so-
learned. It's just discovery. It's an understanding of yourself is what it is. It's not like
Well, you do have to learn yourself, right?
Well, yeah, but like it's not
Yeah.
like you're learning from other people and then like trying to copy because like,
Yeah,
that's
that implication wasn't meant. Okay,
yeah. So that's the reason why I corrected you on, or offered a correction on that. But yeah, no, it's
No, that's
even
fair.
if you try to like force a cis individual to be trans, they'll just reject it. Like you can't trans people or you can't cis people. Like this just doesn't work. We have studies that have looked into this and it ends horrifically. You don't want to do that. And so like the best thing to do is to say, hey, this is what's possible, and it's you're gonna have to find yourself and figure out who you are, and that's what the best thing to do is, and then support individuals and who they are.
I also think that parents, if they're going to educate their children on this, they have to pick the right time. Otherwise, it could hurt their child. Like, you're not going to tell your 4-year-old, this is how babies are made. But until you kind of tell them that I have this part and you have this part, you can't really tell them what a trans person is. Because then they need to understand what sex is to begin with.
Actually,
So I
funnily
think
enough,
they need to
no.
pick the right time.
Sorry, go ahead, Stowe.
Yeah, so
Yeah, they need to pick the right time in order to avoid sort of damaging this child's brain.
So David
With stuff they don't
Reimer,
understand
who
yet.
was who I don't know if you've ever heard of David Reimer or John.
I didn't catch the name. What was it?
David Reimer.
That last name sounds familiar. I just don't know where I heard it from.
He was a famous case study or a study done by a scientist named John, or what was he? A psychologist named John Money. And
He was a psychologist. Yeah, sorry.
Money had horrible ideas that have been now like very clearly been disproven. But at the time, he had an idea that gender was what we would call a gender. What is
Gender researcher? I don't know what you're trying to say.
He was a believer in the idea called gender neutrality, which was like an idea that proposed that all gendered behavior is learned, and it's not something like innate to our bodies.
Well,
The theory proposed that the individual's gender could be changed or altered within the first few years of childhood. And so what ended up happening is that David was he had an issue with his phallus where he needed to get a circumcision. And this wasn't done like initially at birth. It was actually like a medical condition that caused this. And the circumcision was botched.
Still before the age of 1, though, right?
It was, yeah, it
If
was
I
really
remember
early.
correctly, it was early. It was infant genital mutilation, is my point.
Well, no. This was done for a medical reason. Actually, this was not mutilation.
But this part wasn't. But the following reassignment.
Oh yeah. No.
was
The other
to
one.
be-
Yes, yeah.
Sorry to I didn't clarify before. Yeah.
Yeah. So
sorry, I actually have to go in like 10 minutes. Could I
Okay.
answer on that specific thing you just said? and
Can
then
we
you
let the host finish his story and then you can?
yeah, just
Yeah,
to make
it
a
was
long
about what
story
he did
short,
first, but-
he was raised as a female, like believing that he was a female, and had he had surgery done on his lower half to make that seem to be the case. But then
Wasn't he also given hormones growing up?
Yeah, but as early as the age of 5, he showed that he was not wanting to be a female. He did the things that males wanted to do, or he didn't want to be a woman. He wanted to be a man. He did the things that his father did. And when they tried to force him to put on makeup and do things that women or that girls would usually do, he fucking hated it. Absolutely hated it. And this just continued throughout adulthood, all the way up into adulthood. So what this shows is that this isn't something that you can like force upon an individual.
Just to not sugarcoat it, he ended up unaliving himself later in life due to the gender dysphoria that was induced from his childhood.
Did he hate it because he didn't like the specific things, or because he was being forced to do it?
He just didn't like it.
Okay.
Whenever he pushed back against
Probably
this, it was
forced too.
Yeah, so whenever he pushed back about being a girl, they just doubled down.
Mm-hmm.
There are some really fucked up photos that Money took as well, forcing the children to reenact things that were absolutely not age appropriate in any fucking sense.
So it was like pretty recent then.
No, this was in the they were born
80s?
in 1965.
Oh, 60s, goddamn.
Yeah.
It was bad back like the whole thing back then, but
like what this shows though is that like you can't force somebody
lasted a while
to be
too.
something they don't want to be. So like it's fine to teach children that that trans people exist at a young age, because they can get a better understanding themselves and not have to question themselves so much growing up. They get to just live their lives as their true authentic selves and not worry about, oh, what am I? And like worry about that. And if society doesn't care either that they are just who they are, that's great. They don't have to be, marginalized or belittled about just being who they are.
yeah. I'm gonna say one more thing before I have to go do stuff, because I live in Texas and our entire state shuts down when it gets below 30 degrees, so I need to go buy groceries.
I grant
But
that's rough.
I hate it because I was raised in Maine, and I'm like, you guys
be
are
safe,
overreacting.
Yeah.
But now that I live here, like, what are you guys freaking out about? It's 30 degrees. I did that every day.
But the storm is gonna be wild.
Yeah. But I work at a power plant, or a chemical plant, so chances are they shut it down and I get a paid day off.
Well, that's nice.
But the last thing I'm going to say, I forgot what I was going to say. I was talking about Texas. Oh, yeah. So I think another thing is about what you said about certain things are learned, like about behaviors. I somewhat agree with that.
Well, that's been
like, I'll give you an example. What do you say?
This was a theory that Money, who I think is a horrible, wretched person, believed. This was a proposed theory, not that it was ever ever shown to be the case. We know that this is incorrect now.
I think in a certain stance it can be correct. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I, as a biological male, my family is not athletes. I was not raised around sports, but I just naturally I wanted to rough around with people. and my friends that were girls did not. However, I've got a 4-year-old cousin. She was raised around all boy cousins, and every day I go out to her house, she's like, "Take me mudding, take me mudding," and that's not something her friends do. So I think that can be learned. I think it's just not naturally learned, if that makes sense.
I don't think it is. It's just a preference that individuals develop.
Yeah, and
That's
it is
simply that.
natural. Like, even if you're looking at just your parents, your aunts and uncles, your aunts and aunts, your grandpa and grandpa, shit like that. Like, you're gonna look at these people individually and or as couples at different points and observe who they are, and then develop your own sense of what a man is and what a woman is based off of these things. So it definitely is a natural development.
I think natural in a sense that I think learned is the wrong word. I think your experiences as a child can definitely shape you. Like transphobia is not like that's definitely learned. Like right, I grew up around many different races. I didn't even know what race was until I was 6, 7. Sorry, but like it's definitely learned. Like your experiences can shape you. I think we need to stray away from, I think we need to stray more towards teaching other people that we need to be teaching our younger ones to do better, if that makes sense. Like, we don't have an entire movement we're focusing on the children. We need to be focusing on the people that are being teaching the children, if that makes sense.
Yes and no. Children are the majority of the people, at least initially legislated against in America, at least. So we definitely have an emphasis on protecting them for that reason. But I do see your point in like wanting to focus on the generation that's educating these children and not just the children directly. I don't have kids, to be abundantly clear, so take this with a grain of salt. But I was a kid once, so again, take that how you will. But I definitely think that we should be making sure that, especially cis kids, don't have this. Just like like white people are inherently racist. Like, we're raised in a society that's built around this white privilege and this racism. So, like, as white people, we're just unconsciously, like, taught that growing up based off of the behaviors we see around us.
I actually do have experience in that because I was born in there wasn't any, Hispanics were very rare in upstate Maine, but there was a lot of African Americans. And growing up, I did develop a sense of, did I do something wrong by being born this way? Like, am I a bad person for the way I look? And I think it's like another form of racism that people don't understand. Right? It's obviously not as bad, but I think it's definitely a form that needs to be made aware of.
Yeah, this is just
So
like
I was going somewhere with this. Sorry, I forget what I was saying, but it was important.
so like this is something that's just explained under like we're scared of things that we don't understand, and like this is something we as a society need to actively work against, so we don't get these fears of people that are just
wait.
people.
I was talking about the generation above teaching the generation below. Like, everybody should be anti-racist. If the parents are anti-racist and they're anti-racist in the ways that white parents specifically, if they're anti-racist in the ways that they are raising their children, then their children aren't going to be raised with so much white privilege and white supremacy just built into their like neurobiology and their trains of thought. In the same way, teaching about trans kids and being anti-transphobic, if you will, to make the parallel, will make sure that these kids aren't raised in a mindset that is exclusive and transphobic as it could be if they weren't actively teaching about these things, if that makes sense, in an obviously age-appropriate manner. Yes.
Absolutely. I keep saying I'm going to leave, but I promise I actually am going to leave now. But one thing I will say about the other thing that we were talking about is I think another big thing, if we want to stray away from these topics such as racism, is we need to stop making it a priority. like Morgan Freeman is one of the main people that agree with this.
Morgan
Like he said himself that if you want to stop racism, stop talking about it, because you're giving a platform to these people.
At least
somewhat.
At least for transphobia, there's a balance, okay? So we don't talk about it when we don't need to. We aren't calling cis people in everyday life, hey, cisgendered buddy, you know, as we pass by or whatever. We're not talking about it when we don't need to. When there is actively hundreds and hundreds and hundreds more, like multiple more days than there are in a year, of bills introduced and passed across the country of anti-trans legislation in the past, like, approximately 3 years. It's been building up more so, and it's obviously worse under Trump. Like, obviously that's relevant to speak about. That's why we hold these lives. It's for education, ideally, of the person we're speaking to and conversing with. But if not, the people who are listening as well have the potential to learn from us. And we have the potential to learn from other people. So I definitely think that the emphasis is there when it needs to be and not when it doesn't. Like when, for example, again, I'm not a person of color. I'm white. So please tell me if I'm out of line. But when George Floyd was fucking murdered / assassinated by cops, the BLM protests and like activism kind of rose for a period of time after that. And that was in reaction to somebody who is a part of your community being murdered. Trans people are more likely to be killed, more likely to be assaulted, more likely to be sexually assaulted, and more legislated against than most groups in this country. Obviously, intersectionality exists in this conversation as well. I'm just trying to hit on the main points here. Obviously, like, Black trans women are the most oppressed group and the most at danger group for all of their intersectional reasons. Yeah, trans people definitely are still only making noise about things when it's necessary.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go take my last hot shower before my pipes get too cold to make the water hot.
I'm sorry if I held you up. I'm a rambler, I know.
No, it's okay. I take quick showers, but no, I follow you guys. You guys are cool. I think we agree, just in different fonts, if that makes sense.
Yes, and or we're very close to agreeing, if that also makes sense. It's one or the other. I haven't quite figured it out yet.
Yeah, but no, I'll definitely be back, whether it's this topic or is this the only topic you guys talk about?
Once in a
Or
blue
do you
moon,
guys do
sometimes
others?
God debate stuff, but this has been
Oh, I'm in those all the time. I love being in those.
yeah. But yeah, usually just this. And anything that tangentially relates to it. Yeah, so.
And I'll probably be back. I check my follows to see if they're live before anyone else. So if you guys are live, I'll probably be back.
I'll be back.
Thanks for the follow for both of us. And yeah, we do these a few times a week right now, but guaranteed, if Sto is okay with me saying this, one time a week on Saturdays.
Yeah, I try to at least once on Saturday at the very least. Unless if there's like some reason I can't, like I don't have my meds or something. So.
Yeah, I know. I'll 100% join up if you do the God thing, because I think you're atheist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm agnostic, so we'll definitely agree there.
Well, yeah, fair.
Base W? No.
I'm gonna go enjoy this hot shower before I take freezing showers.
Yeah, watch out for those crazy Texas drivers who don't know how to drive on ice. No.
I know. Dude, my boss when I left work like an hour ago, he's like, don't just leave early because people are gonna be idiots out there.
Yeah. Also, stay safe.
Be careful, yes, and enjoy your showers. Showers are great.
Like, it's so funny. Like, I live 8 years in -10 degrees. Like, you guys are overreacting. It's just 30 degrees. But,
yeah, but that ice and that snow is gonna hit.
It's more of just like a preparedness. Like, they're not used to it, so I get it. But
yeah.
All right. Well, I'll be back. See you guys later. You have a good one.
See ya. You too. Well, that was respectful. I appreciate a nice, refreshing, respectful conversation every now and then.
Yeah. Oh. I get Danny tomorrow morning.
I was gonna ask if you have him yet.
No, I get him tomorrow morning.
Send all the pictures.
Yeah, I will. He's a little guy. Even though he's actually quite a big dog. He's just a little guy. All
Yeah,
dogs and
but
cats, despite their size, will always be little guys.
exactly. Shadow was a little guy, and he was what 65 pounds before he got sick. So yeah, he always acted like a lap dog. Though I have so many videos of me either on chairs or on my bed, and him just trying awkwardly to like climb and lay on top of me fully. He was one of those dogs. I love him.
Holy smokes! Okay, weird. Sorry, I was just reading through news, and Japan had finally restarted their largest nuclear power plant after Fukushima happened back in 2011.
That's
so it's been offline
wild.
for like 14 years, and they're finally like, okay, we'll start it back up. It's like, how do you just take that much like off the grid and be like, okay,
For real. Also, mod break that Griff just reminded me of. So thank you, Griff, for liking the live. Like the live, share the live. Most importantly, which I should put it first, comment on the live. Comment interactions will definitely boost more than some of these other things. So do all the things. But yeah, let's get up to 5K likes and 10 shares. Let's do
get
it.
up to 1,500 likes. I like that goal better.
1,500 likes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
If they had brains, they wouldn't have enough to. Oof. How do you use the overlay? What overlay? I am confuzzled. What overlay are you talking about, Amy?
I personally just got us up to 10 shares, so I'm resetting the goal for 15.
That's I'm doing it through TikTok Live Studio. I have no idea how you do it on the TikTok app. I have not used
Me
TikTok
neither,
app.
and I need to figure it out so that I can stream too, because I have enough followers now, and I would really like to debate without necessarily having to have my face on the screen. Because I've been stalked online before, and I do not need to repeat that.
What you could do is you could just flip your camera around so it's using the front or the rear camera, and then you could just like
Yeah,
if you
and
really
you
want
do,
to
like,
just put a piece
black.
of tape
Yeah.
over it if you really want to.
I'll figure it out some way, somehow, sometime, but not tonight.
It's the classic. Oh, not today, not now. I'll do it later.
Dude, can you believe the size of that bruise on my arm from one shot?
Yikes!
One tiny subcutaneous injection
My mom
caused a
gets
bruise.
bruises from flicks. I swear, she just is. Her something.
It's a
in her is,
trait
like,
of
really
EDS, actually.
Mm.
Is your mom also hypermobile? Do you happen to know? It's very stretchy,
I don't think she's hypermobile.
double jointed.
I know what EDS is roughly, that like the hypermobility part of it.
Well,
I think
I've told you about it before, so.
Yeah. I know that she has like issues with her blood. It's
That
not like
makes more sense.
it's not even like
It's more of a bleeding
the
issue
platelet
than
count.
this.
It's just she has weird fucking platelets.
That makes sense. Kind of like sickle cell. Like you have the red blood cells, they're just weird red blood cells
Yeah,
that
like
don't do their jobs.
for a long time, she can
Even with EDS, sorry, one last correlation. With EDS, you have enough collagen in your body. Your body's producing it all. It just doesn't serve the function that it's supposed to. Instead of being like a rubber band, it's like a very, very overused rubber band that isn't stretchy anymore and is very fragile. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like her platelets can still cause like blood clots, but they don't clump properly for like to stop bleeding. So it's just like they're not good at anything.
I actually have a platelet disorder as well, so I get that.
I don't know what she has.
I have something called von Willebrand's disorder.
No. Seems like we have plateaued on. I wish I could have a lifetime view of what is it? Actually, I can check to see if I can. Live.
Oh, for reference, obviously I only sent the picture of my bruise to Stowe. But the bruise this time from my shot, my allergy shot, is like, I don't know, at least a couple, I mean, maybe 3 inches in diameter if I'm being accurate. And that's from one tiny subcutaneous injection. So, yeah. I mean, am I exaggerating, Stowe?
No, not that much. I'm seeing if there's no, I don't see. I don't think I can get live analytics. Screw you, TikTok. Why don't I have access to live analytics? That's a silly thing to not have access to.
Super Diabito. I'm sorry, that name is just goofy. Animal, what do you mean by no?
I think they already left.
No what? Oh, that's fair too.
Oh, didn't want to click on that. What was I gonna say? Oh, my dad left to go. My grandpa has stage 4 cancer. So he's undergoing chemo right now to try to at least expand it. Like it's pretty clear to be terminal at this point. It's just a matter of when. I don't think we have a good estimate on that yet. But he's going through chemo to try to help with that. And my dad needs to go out to my aunt and uncle's where he's staying because his wife, so my grandma, is getting knee replacement surgery done. So, and she doesn't drive anymore. So, like, there just isn't enough hands around the house. So my dad's gone out there to help. Yippee!
So fair. I'm sorry to hear that, though. I don't have a similar, like, family member passing of cancer experience, but I definitely do have a family member passing before he should have, and B, I'm a part-time caretaker for my grandma, so, like, that family care, I think, as much as it can take us away from each other sometimes,
yeah,
I love that in my house it brings exactly. I love that in my house it's my parents, me, and my grandma who I'm a part-time caretaker for. So it actually really brings us together and helps that we all live in the same house. I understand though that in other situations it can definitely bring people apart for a time. And yeah, I definitely I just hope that the palliative care is good and that
I think
he's comfortable. That's what matters most at this point.
He seems to be living a pretty okay lifestyle. So like it's not like meat is a good idea yet. But like I think that eventually I'm gonna bring it up and at least say, hey, this is something that you might want to consider. Like just so that before things get too bad, you might want to go out on your own terms, so to speak.
Exactly.
I think that's
I
if I ever had a terminal disease, I would probably do MAID eventually, just because the suffering will at one point be like, yeah, I'll
not want to do it anymore. Yeah. My grandma has dementia, and so like that's obviously not cancer, but it is a progressive condition that is gonna have her losing function of every part of her body at the end of the day, I actually brought up the idea, please request up, Griff, and I'll accept it. The idea of MAID to my grandma. I was like, have you even discussed this with her? He didn't really want to talk to me about it, which is fair. It's his mom, like I can't overstep in that way. It's more of just like, I hope she knows her options before it's too late for her to make a choice in her right mind, if that makes sense. So in the same way, like, because that's got to be suffering, just slowly losing function of every part of your body. So I just hope that my grandma has access to the care that she needs, especially since some of it she'd have to decide on sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
Hi, Griff.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm alright. Am I echoing at all?
No, you're fine.
No, that would be me.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. I just wanted to double check before I started talking. Obviously I don't have any opposition, but hi.
No, I thought you were the biggest op.
Yeah, I'm a bigot. You're right.
I grant that.
Yeah, we had the one op-ish, I guess, and then we just lost momentum today, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've noticed most of them just chirp in the comments and don't actually want to come up, but...
Me too, they're scared.
Yeah, so it goes. But it's nice to actually talk to you guys for once.
Yeah, like I said in the comments, I think it's the first time that you've been up here, at least that I've also been up here. So, and we see you all the time down there. So it's nice to see you up here. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like to argue with people. I'm sorry.
That's kind of a benefit as long as you argue well.
Well, yeah. I do my best. Most of the time, I think they like the people that I interact with in the comments don't realize that they're talking to like a trans person, and then they're like,
It's so funny.
they're chirping at me like I'm like cis, and I'll be like, oh well, you're just wrong. Easy enough.
The one person that I asked today that responded in the comments for me, I said, what sex and or gender do you think I am? Said that she thought I was a man.
Yeah.
And I'm just not going to say anything else about that other than, sure, I guess.
Yeah.
But they always know, right?
We can always tell, except when.
Jokes on you, I already agree. Yeah, that's oof.
Well, I'll send you a follow then. We love agreeers just as much as we love disagreeers. In very different ways, to be clear.
We support your ability to disagree as much. Centrism. But yeah, normally when you guys stream, I'm at work, so I just chirp the whole time.
Usually being like
Yeah.
early in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to
My
say,
unemployed
these
ass,
later
like-
night streams are a newer thing for us, so yeah. Not night. It's just dark, so it feels like night.
Fuck you, it's night.
Later evening streams.
No, Cole, it's night. Joke's on you, it's night, because I get up at 4 a.m. That's the morning. Anything after like 2 p.m.'s the
But
night.
no, not
Yeah.
for normal people.
Okay, well, I reject the
Sorry.
normal. Reject the normal, embrace the autism. Ooh.
Autism?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, autistic systems can be autism.
Autism.
That's such a mouthful, but it's also so cute. I love that.
Yeah, I'm EST, so it's also dark here, but it's not
I'm
too
also
late.
EST.
Yay! East Coast Queens!
We love to see it.
East Coast royalty, I should say.
That's okay. I accept queen as a not gender neutral. How do I explain how I accept queen as a compliment? I don't get dysphoria from it. I can definitely say that. And I can probably say it's because of like drag queens, the gay community, RuPaul's Drag Race as a whole. You know?
Yep,
like
fair.
I definitely am still affirmed by being called queen. So don't feel bad about that one in particular, at least.
Well, I do my very best to be as informed as possible. But
And obviously, as you know, as a fellow trans person, it's unique to each person. I'm non-binary, so like that just means whatever the fuck it means to me. And for other people, they're trans-binary, like my sister and maybe like yourself. So, like obviously, like respecting that where they would have dysphoria, rather than in my case where I wouldn't. Again, very situational, dependent on the person. But yeah, we love to discuss that and communicate. So yeah.
yeah, well, I appreciate it. I like to err on the side of caution, but sometimes I just also just say, like, my words just don't work. So like, my mouth moves faster than my brain.
Life is hard, or words are hard, so is life, or something like life is hard, so are words. I don't know which way it goes.
Steve, we're all messing up our speech. It's
So
okay.
we
You are a part of the norm here.
Finally.
I'm accepted. I'm typical. Yay.
I'm no longer neurodivergent, no longer gender divergent.
Not in this space, baby.
No, we're taking over.
Reject the gender norms. No.
Create new gender norms where there are no norms.
Why create
Rather.
norms in the first place? Just reject them and replace them with nothing.
Exactly.
Real.
Problem solved. There's no cis or trans, there's just people.
Like Loki, that is real. Very real.
Like it's like a really great idea, except for like then the
Gender
neurotypicals-
abolitionists unite. Sorry.
Then the neurotypicals are gonna get together and be like, but we like these constructs. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. No.
They're gonna be the majority still, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oof. We'll take over anyway. We'll find a way.
I don't
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
I don't get the whole gender abolition front as much as like, trying to just, get rid of the harmful, like it's clear, like it seems clear to me that like societies like to have these ideas of gender. Whether or not getting rid of the bad stereotypes is like that's a good idea, I think. But like, I don't think if you remove gender, it would not just immediately get replaced with something just as bad, or just something equally as awful.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, so many of the gender norms in like the United States are like so steeped in like misogyny.
No way.
And yeah. I know this is a wild take.
Misogyny in the U.S.
Yeah,
What?
misogyny in my U.S. in my Christian Minecraft server.
I don't think that. Well, I guess this is a Christian Minecraft server, but it's ruled by a silly non-Christian.
But yeah, so unfortunately, I do think that there would probably be
misogyny in my Kenshi. God, I don't know if you guys know anything about Kenshi, but there's a group called the Holy Nation, and they're like, it's not just misogyny. They're just not even like people if they're women, or they're not human. God forbid they're a clanker.
Not the clanker memes.
Yeah, they have clankers and kenshis. They're called skeletons, though. Yeah, they're it's an open sandbox RPG that will the first thing you will do if you play Kenshi for the first time is you'll go out and get your ass beat real fast, and you'll learn that's actually a good thing. It is you will actually go out eventually to try to get your ass beat because it makes you stronger. It is literally the what doesn't kill you makes you stronger kind of thing.
Oh, I see. Isn't Sifu like that as well, or Sifu like that's like an age one, right?
I don't know. But Kenshi's a pretty silly game. I've been playing a lot of it.
Just a warning. If I happen to be off mute and you hear a scream or a yell, do not be concerned. I'm just very itchy because when I get my allergy shots, my hives flare up. So I'm currently just sitting here on mute yelling, but it's fine.
Yeah, I have a whole 64 hours in Kenshi. But I got the game when did I get the game?
Oh, sorry. Again, random life hack. I have BioFreeze out here. Use BioFreeze for itching. It actually works extremely well for that.
Hell yeah. I think the only Kenshi like I'm familiar with is the one from Mortal Kombat, but that's because I'm a fighting game nerd.
Ooh, Kenshi is on sale for $12 right now in the US. Yippee! Ooh. No, it's a free roaming squad based RPG. And like that's set place in a post apocalyptic world. Yeah. So like there's a world that had apocalypse, and then they rebuilt, and then they had another goddamn fucking apocalypse.
Perfect.
And learning from our mistakes, are we?
The good thing is that like they keep doing the same shit over again too. Like they're not learning from their mistakes.
Very human thing to do.
I was indeed being sarcastic.
Very human. Very what is the very human, very
deterministic, is that the word?
Keaton, I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you have a potato peeler?
I'm not giving you.
No, my next question was gonna be to ask if you could ship it to me. Express shipping, please.
Same day arrival.
Oh, it's the design is very human. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the design of the world is very human. It results in mass genocides repeatedly.
God.
Including one of not just the clankers, but the big clankers.
Not the big clankers, no.
Yeah, you want to see Iron Giant get fucking genocided? Yep. That's Kenshi.
No, I'm gonna cry.
Ali, send that cheese grater ASAP. I'll send you my address. Sorry, I'm currently putting BioFreeze on my hive-covered legs, and a cheese grater will absolutely do the job. Thank you.
What do I have in my room that would be of use?
I got my shot today too, actually. wasn't an allergy shot, but
Yay! Yeah, I do T-shots, allergy shots, Aimovig shots for my migraines, and then Xolair shots for my hives. So it's kind of a lot right now, but I'll be on the base whatever dose soon of my allergy shots, which means instead of going twice a week, I'll be going once a month. Which is very helpful for the next 3 to 5 years, until I don't have to go anymore. So yeah, that's currently what my life is full of, is going to the allergist, getting 2 pokes, 1 in each arm, and then waiting in the waiting room for 30 minutes afterwards, because you're not allowed to leave in case you have anaphylaxis. Yep. Then you have your own EpiPens, which they require you to have at your appointment. And if your 2 EpiPens do not do the job, that's when they would break out like the extra stuff that they have to prevent these reactions. So yeah, I just spend too much of my time in doctor's offices right now, even if it's just in waiting rooms. But it happens to be right next, my allergist in the same building happens to be right next to the cancer center. And today I got to hear somebody ring the remission bell for the first time that I've been there. It was like, and the way the building's set up, even though it's 2 floors, lots of different offices, like even between the 1st and 2nd floor, there's like open air spaces. So you could hear this bell ring in the entire building. And the allergy office being right next to it through like a glass wall and glass sliding doors were one of few places that were able to see it so clearly, which was really, really, really cool. I think, at least. It like lifted everybody's moods that was there. It definitely wasn't just me. We were all like looking around, chatting a little bit, you know, amongst ourselves, whatever. Even some of the staff and the nurses hadn't ever been around when the bell was rung. So it was really cool for a lot of us. But anyways, I've rambled over. I ramble a lot. It's bad. I know.
I mean, it's great for streaming.
I guess when we don't have any up.
Yeah. Keeps the ball rolling, you know? And that was so sweet.
I'm just going through TikTok and doing like stupid management stuff of like, oh, look through my message requests and see if I have to and just delete them all then, because God forbid.
See, and now instead of my legs itching, they just have a cold burn. That's it.
Ooh.
I'm not scratching at them because lidocaine and a few other things in BioFreeze.
Oh, I got lidocaine when I was getting my ribs tattooed. They put lidocaine on me.
As they should. I have several tattoos, and the most painful one I've ever gotten, and I'm gonna get more painful ones on my ribs, even though this was the most awful experience getting tattooed ever. I was 19. I got 2 tattoos. One of them was on my ankle, and it took about 10 minutes. The other one was on my ribs, and it took about 15 minutes. It's small. It's thin lines. That was all. I was in such excruciating pain when I was getting that rib tattoo. I'm telling you what, and I've been tattooed on various places too. That was fucking painful, dude.
Yeah. Mine is like my entire ribs. It goes from like right above my hip up to like right underneath my like boob, for lack of a better term. And it's like a wide tattoo, so it was like my entire rib cage. I think I was like 19 or 20.
Oh, at 19 or 20.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be getting 2 tattoos after top surgery, which is this year. Woot woot. One is a anatomically correct heart. I want to get where my heart is at. Probably in black and white, but I haven't decided for sure yet. And then the other one I want to get is a solar plexus tattoo. So that's
Ooh.
gonna be like the base of my sternum spreading out across my rib cage. And that one I am not looking forward to. Although, and I don't know how this is gonna change things, I was super skinny compared to what I am now. When I got that rib tattoo, I was like not unhealthy, but like 130 pounds maybe. Now I'm about 190 pounds. And I wonder if the fat on my rib cage and on my belly is going to help me at all. Or if it won't. I hope it does. Please be a pillow.
I really don't know because I've always been pretty like scrawny, and I've only really put on like maybe 15 pounds since I got mine done. Um, but it was, I don't know, it was like another level of like pain.
I will be dissociating during those tattoos for sure.
Yeah. Like, that's like the only way to get through them for me, to be honest.
Don't worry, I have good practice at it as a system.
No.
Hey, sometimes it's helpful. I'm just saying. I'm not promoting other people to utilize dissociation in order to get through tattoos, to be clear. But I may or may not do so myself. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right. The last tattoo I got actually was lovely, but the one before that was this person that used to work at a shop that I got all my other tattoos from, and he was like the only one that I didn't get tattooed from there because he gave me like kind of weird vibes, and he ended up, I was like, oh my gosh, like I like your color work, whatever, and he ended up just like, I have like a skeleton tattooed somewhere, and he just like made all the bones red without telling me.
Dude, I had an experience where a tattoo artist did something without telling me, and let me tell you, I would beat the shit out of him if I could.
I was like, what the fuck?
Why would any artist do that? Oh, my brain hurts even.
Nice.
Jesus. Also, I am who I say I am, and or Ice Ice Baby. Request up to discuss. Because I am who I say I am. Yes, we are wondering what it would take for you to agree. And Ice Ice Baby, as host said, just like other medical procedures are government funded through things like Medicare and Medicaid, transgender affirming care should also be funded through things like Medicaid and Medicare. So, yeah.
I'm having a feeling all the ops are dead right now. Or they're not on the app.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still here or not, but I did see those comments come in, and I was like, ooh, op, please stay. But now we only have 4 viewers again, so they probably left. They're like, you didn't interact with us within 0.2 seconds, therefore, we're swiping past.
Well, you usually lose if you don't interact with me and prove me wrong in half a second or less.
Yeah, I can prove you wrong.
Right.
Got ya.
You did not just.
Please request backup. I did.
Please send a request back up.
I cry.
Please.
Accept.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the auto lose. You just can't come
Brutal.
on. No.
I'm in shambles.
I love it when I'm like, I actually am in a debate with somebody and they just kick me because I actually have a thing, or they'll just like purposely try to like have other people come on and like try to like take the conversation from me. Like, no. Let me cook.
That is like an auto win though. I just kick you and run. Auto win. That's how it works in fighting games too, actually. If you just disconnect, you win.
I'm still blendy right now. I might be on mute for a minute or two, a hot minute or two here.
My profile picture? Oh no, am I gonna have to explain my profile picture?
Please do.
It's from a Yuri manga.
From what?
It's from a Yuri manga. It's from Green Yuri. The guy I was interested in wasn't a guy at all.
Plot twist.
But it's really cute and like not smutty. But like,
wait, hold on.
this is
Japanese Japanese manga and not smutty. What? I'm sure lots of it isn't, but there's a lot that is as well.
I don't actually read a ton of smutty Yuri. I don't really like it, but I like the romance stuff where they're all like oh, like I don't know if she likes me or not, and then they do that for like 100 chapters and then they kiss once. That's my jam.
Have you ever read Fourth Wing?
And these are the books that they're trying to remove from my library. No.
Please, if you appreciate that kind of storyline, like there are several different storylines going on at once, of course, but if you appreciate one of them being that, you definitely should read Fourth Wing. There are 3 out of 5 books of the series out. The 3rd one came out at the beginning of 2025. It's Fourth Wing, Iron Storm, I think, is the 2nd one, which I'm in the middle of, but haven't read any in months, but I'll get back eventually. Anyways, and then Iron Flame is the 2nd book, that's for sure, and Onyx Storm is the 3rd. But that series, oh my gods, if that's your type of like reading that you like, you will love that series. Also, just for context, on a different plot in the series, the author of the books has EDS and writes the main character as if she has EDS without straight up saying like this character has EDS, but writes the experiences of an ESer in the circumstances that she's in, and it's so good. I mean, it's so good. I recommend it for so many different reasons, but those are a couple of them.
All right, we're gonna play a game with you too. It's what's the White House excuse for this bruise?
Oh no.
What's the excuse for this bruise?
About that earlier. It's on his left hand, not his handshaking hand.
Yeah. Do you have any idea? Let's play this game. What's the White House excuse?
Was he punching people that were disagreeing with him for wanting to take Greenland?
No.
Sad.
It's they say it's from a freaking table corner. That from a table corner. You sure he's okay to be commander-in-chief of the table corner is doing that to him? Anyway.
That's wild. Table corner excuse is next level.
In my opinion, or one solid educated guess I could say, is that bitch has been in and out of the hospital and has needed IVs, and they're running out of places on his arms, so they've used his hands. I really do think he is further towards the end of his life than most people do, honestly.
I don't know. It might be. I could totally agree with the IV, but I just don't see it in like if you had like severe medical problems. I bet you we would probably know about them, because that's like something that like I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's good evidence for it yet that he has anything that's like super severe. But it could be that he has to have IVs for certain things.
Yeah, sorry about the sound if you can hear the snowplows going by. But yeah, this is just like an educated guess. I know what bruising typically would look like from those types of things, considering how many IVs I've had in my lifetime. And I'm not just talking like in and out of ER and hospital. I'm talking there was over a year period of my life where I needed to get infusions at least twice a week. So I'm very like familiar with what this bruising can look like and such, and where it can be placed in the hand and those sorts of things. Could it have been a table corner? I mean, sure. That's probably just as evidenced as saying that it's from an IV. At least just with his age, I think that there's a bit more evidence for the IV theory than the table corner, but that's just me personally. Again, that's just my 2 cents, just kind of giving a guess with how he's been speaking, obviously, how he's been acting, how he's been conducting himself. So, I don't know. We'll see what it ends up being.
Yeah, if they release anything about it, to be honest, like anything real that you can trust, it's kind of
right.
Like
The only thing I'm looking for at this point is wait. What was it called? Why am I brain farting on that right now?
Look at this chat.
I'll peek in 1 second. I'm waiting for the big beautiful obituary.
No.
That is a source I can trust. Like if he's gone, he's gone. So that's what I'm. Great beautiful obituary, please.
Alice said in Discord, maybe he's on HRT so he bruises easily. Lol.
He's actually on spironolactone, which is HRT for trans women, part of it at least. It's the same exact medication, if you weren't aware already.
Isn't that like
the man
used for people who have low T as well?
It's a testosterone blocker, but I don't know what all it can be used for. I know. I don't know if it was blood pressure or what else it was primarily like made for, but then it was seen to be more effective for like HRT purposes and being an androgen blocker. Sorry. So he might be on it because his blood pressure is off, or I don't know, other reasons, but it is anti-androgen. It's a testosterone blocker is what it does. So.
If we don't have people in the next few minutes, I'm going to end stream. Because it's been like a good 30 minutes any off.
So fair, but also like, Griff, thank you again for coming up. It was good to like talk to you. And thanks for hosting, even if it was just for the one conversation we had and for the conversation with friendlies that we got to have because of it. So thanks.
God, that echo is so awful.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, it sounded worse that time.
Doubled up.
Oof. I guess I'll just stay muted forever. Bye.
Yeah, get out of here. No. No, come back.
You just said you were gonna end, so like, why should I?
Oh, I said it. Okay, well, I'll just end it then. I'll end it all. Blah.
Oh,
no. Does anybody have anything else to add, though?
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome up anytime. As long as there's not,
of
like,
course.
with the asterisk that, like, I don't want to have, like, more than, like, 2 to 3 friendlies up, hopefully, at a time. I try to limit that, because otherwise it just results in over-talking, so... Oh, solid. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Oh, great timing.
Yeah, that's
like... I do want to say... Sorry, finish up.
I think that it's best just to not explain and let him figure it, or let her figure it out.
I want to say thank you for all of the people that got us to at least the 2.9k likes we have. I was 8 of the 10 shares, but thank you to the 2 other shares. Please feel free to follow real quick while we're still live. Host especially, but any other creators that are panelists right now are
Follow
friendlies.
Cole.
And
Everyone follow Cole.
feel free to follow whoever you feel inclined to follow. And then we will end shortly, and yeah.
You mean end now?
I